Mary Catherine Ham, Brian Wilson, Brian Neiman, today's newsmakers, and you, the Morning Majority. 105.9 FM. AM 630. WMAL.
8:07 on the Morning Majority. Brian Neiman, Brian Wilson, Mary Catherine Ham, and also John Fund. How's it going, John Fund?
Pleasure, thanks.
Hey, so did you watch the debate this week, I assume?
I was there.
Oh,
really?
You were there in person. So what did you think? Is the race over? Do we have a two-man race? Are the second tier up and coming? What's the story?
The media finally got a debate with lots of fistfights and hissing cats.
Right.
And I think that the next debate is going to be even tougher. And thank God we had a debate where John Huntsman and his corny jokes and asides weren't littering the stage. He boycotted. I wish he would continue that boycott.
What did you think of the Romney-Perry standoff? Who came out on top of that?
Unpresidential.
Mm-hmm.
The country lost. I think that any time you have candidates bickering and interrupting each other, voters just get tuned off. I think that's why focus groups thought Newt Gingrich did the best job, because Newt, who has no money, can afford to say, I'm not going to run any negative TV attack ads, and it's the media's fault for getting us to fight each other.
Well, what about the argument that maybe Romney came out a little better in that exchange, because a lot of people didn't think Romney had that in him, the ability to stand up and get feisty?
It depends on the eye of the beholder. On the one hand, Herman Cain came off much better because when he was attacked, he kept his cool. I mean, he may have had a corny apples and oranges defense, but I don't think people like someone who gets personal with anyone in a debate. And both Romney and Perry were getting personal.
What about Ronald Reagan? I paid for this microphone. That was sort of a moment where he was sort of, got his dander up, and it worked for him.
Yeah, but again, that was directed at the moderator, the media, not another one of the candidates.
Fair enough.
I thought it was a food fight. I hated it. We talked about it yesterday, and some people liked it. Some people, agreed with you and me that, was unprecedented. But I have to ask you, though, if you're going to have these fights, isn't it better to do it now than it is down the road? I mean, don't you have to air this dirty laundry, all this talk about to the immigration and the person who Romney hired? Isn't it better to do it now than later?
Look, I think whoever emerges from this contest, if it's tough, no holds barred, and everybody has their say and everybody puts their plans and proposals on the table, is going to emerge as a stronger nominee. Competition is good in business, is good in baseball, it's good in presidential politics. Remember, Republicans are unused to having these kind of, spirited fights because they usually hand the nomination to the next guy in line.
How much? All right, you can look at the polls all you want right now. We're still a couple of months away from actual voting, but how much does money play into it? Because if you just look at the money situation, it seems that Romney, and you said that Newt doesn't have a whole lot of cash right now, it seems that Romney and Perry have all of the money, much more so than Herman Cain. That has to play an effect on who's actually going to win this race, right?
Of course, you need table stakes to stay in the game, but I don't think money is everything. Remember, John McCain won the Republican nomination in 2008 after he ran out of money, and his campaign basically was flat busted broke. So you need enough to get your name out, or you need a compelling personality like Herman Cain has. But you can survive even if you're outspent. For example, I think that Romney is going to go after Perry on immigration. That's going to be a very, very tough series of ads we're going to see. And Perry has one of the toughest ads I've ever seen about Mitt Romney's misleading statements on Romney Care in Massachusetts. PoliticalWire.com has just an incredible new Perry ad.
We're looking at sort of headlines that are breaking right now, John, that suggest that something's going on in Libya with Muammar Gaddafi. There are various reports. A lot of this is very thinly sourced at the moment, so we want to be careful about what. But it appears that he's either been captured, wounded, or perhaps even killed. If that is indeed turns out to be true, does Obama get any uptick for this? Does he get any credit at all for this, or how does it play out?
The fact that Libya didn't turn out to be a disaster, even though it took 9 months to resolve the war, is to Obama's political benefit. However, name me the person who is going to vote in November 2012, a year from now, and say, Barack Obama got rid of that guy named Gaddafi? Yeah, I'm going to vote for him.
What do you think of the president's comment that all of the choices we have made have been the right ones?
What more need not be said? I mean, remember George W. Bush really hurt himself when he was at a news conference and somebody said, Mr. President, can you name one mistake you made in the last 5 or 6 years since you became president? Look, people like a certain amount of realistic humility, as in, hey, I'm not God.
Yep. Well, I don't have that right now.
Occupy Wall Street has been in the news media for quite some time now. The president has embraced it. He did not go and visit them the other day when he had an opportunity to do so. Some on the Democratic side believe that he should go and visit these protesters. Would that be a wise political move, John Funn?
Let's see. Doug Schoen, the Democratic pollster who went and actually polled these Occupy Wall Street people, found only 48% want Obama reelected. That means a significant part of the 52% who don't might boo him, and a third of them potentially endorse violence as a means of achieving their political ends. Do you think the President of the United States should walk into a crowd like that?
Okay. Should he then be even embracing them? Should he be supporting them? Should he be talking about them the way that the administration has been?
Well, clearly, the former community organizer who studied at the feet of Saul Alinsky has decided that if you have a 9.1% unemployment, if the economy is moribund, people are mad at you, your polling numbers are below 40%, that you have to rev up the base. I think the president has decided to endorse these people, but not stand next to them, and I call all of what he's doing a weapon of mass distraction from the real issue, which is the economy.
Right. John, good to have you on the program as always. We appreciate it.